Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I'm Tina. Today I'm doing my wrap up for October and my what's up for November, where I talk about what I read in October and what I'm going to read in November. Before I start though, do you like my shirt? So I'm filming this on Halloween. I meant to film this way all before Halloween and post this on Halloween, but life got the best of me. October is pretty much it's not the worst month of the year for me, but it's the busiest month of the year for me. It's just so busy, and I was so busy at work and I was so busy my home life. I barely had time to film or do anything. I got a lot of reading done, but I didn't get a lot of filming done. So trying to get back on track. So I'm filming this the last day of the trick-or-treat-a-thon, and so here's my bingo board, what I completed. So I got a few bingos here. I'm pretty happy with myself. There are 3 books that I had hoped that I would get to that I did not get to because, as I said, busy. And they were novellas too, even, so that's too bad, but that's okay. I didn't do too poorly, I think, for having a busy month. Normally the books that I read each month and the books that I review each month don't overlap quite a bit. There's maybe 1 or maybe 2 that I have saved for the next month, and I can include that in that wrap up. But for this one, I actually read a bunch of them that I'm going to be reviewing next month. So this seems like there's a small little list, but there's actually 5 or 6 other books on here that I will talk about in my TBR video, just so I can explain kind of why I'm I read a lot, and then there's 4 books. So the first book in this list, the one that I liked the least, but it's not like I didn't like it, it's just, it wasn't the most exciting book in the world really, was The Renegades of Time, which is a classic sci-fi. It's just kind of okay, it's fine. And then This May Be the Year has a beautiful cover. It's a poetry collection about nature and human nature and the way those things are kind of interwoven and or juxtaposed. It's a really, really interesting, really good collection. In the Field is a nonfiction, 6 or 7 kind of short story essays. It's a very small book, but they're really interesting, very thought-provoking stories. And it's also Canadian. Same with the other one. They're both Canadian. Breadsticks and Brigands. Breadsticks. Clearly I'm hungry. Bread Knives and Brigands. This is the 3rd, or I guess technically the 2nd, the first being a prequel anyway, of the Legends and Lattes books. I really liked it. It was really fun. It focused on a character that, I really like, though it's not my favorite character, but that's okay. I thought it was really good, and it had a bit more action than the other 2 books. Mad Dog and the Sea Dragon. This was a book that kind of really surprised me. So this is another Canadian fiction. Clearly I'm cracking through all the ones I got from River Street Reads this month. And it's about a woman who decides to become the mistress of a mob boss, and kind of her life in that kind of position and kind of what it entails, and kind of weirdos that she hangs out with. It's a very interesting story. It's kind of a noir thriller in a way. It's very weird. To Bargain with Mortals, I really liked this fantasy. It's a political fantasy. It's just got really cool world building and interesting characters. I really liked the political system in it because it reminded me of our own here in Canada. And lastly, the best book I read of the month, and this book is really, really good. It's really hard-hitting, and it is Still, which is a book about a sex worker and her mission to find her missing friend, Kayla, or Zoe. Her name is Kayla. Her missing friend, Zoe, and kind of, but also what it's like realistically to live on the streets and that kind of thing. And it's really, really good. So if you like contemporary fiction, it's excellent. I got a couple shout outs for Halloween that I meant to do last week or last month that I forgot. So we have Bad Things Happened in This Room by Marie Still. This is a really interesting, kind of gothic, but more psychological horror about this woman who's clearly gone through some things, and her kind of unraveling mind. It's really, really good. Also, the cover's pretty. And then I love the cover of this one. This is The Haunting at Morsley Manor. This is a slasher horror about a paranormal investigator who is investigating a haunted house. Clearly it's actually haunted. And yeah, it's very fun if you love slashers and stuff. So yeah, also cover, great. So moving on to what I'm going to read next month. So some of these I've already read. I'm just going to do reviews for. So I'm going to do I might do these the same day. It depends again how I can schedule this. So first is How to Get a Girlfriend When You're an Eldritch Monster or a Horrifying Monster, something like that. This one, it's a novella. It's very short. And then I also am going to review at the same time, I think, The Black Tree Atop the Hill. I had meant to review this one on Halloween, but again, like time got away from me and that kind of thing. So I ended up not being able to do that, but that's okay. I will review it maybe the same time as that. Like maybe I'll do like a 2-for-1 special review. I'm going to be reviewing The Sound of the Dark, which is a upcoming, or maybe it just came out, but I'm part of the book tour for Angry Robot for this book, and it is a horror book. I am currently reading it. I'm about maybe just over halfway, and I really like it. It's creepy and it's really interesting. It's kind of like a true crime podcast, but with horror elements. It's really good, but it's in book form. It's cool. And then I'm going to read review A Short Stay in Hell, which I read for the readathon, and I'll tell you, this book is interesting. It raises a lot of really interesting points, so I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm going to review Titan Shade 2, which, I mean, if you haven't read Titan Shade 1, you can read it without it, but I mean, I love Titan Shade. It was so good. So I was very excited to read the second one, and I've already pre-ordered the third one. Not pre-ordered, but I ordered it, but it's not available, so I'm just like, ugh. Hopefully they bring it back in stock, and if not, I'll order it, I'll find a used copy somewhere. I'm going to be reviewing for my classic sci-fi, which is not a classic at all, but I'm going to be reviewing Doom 3, the third book. I don't know what it's called right now because I can't find it. It's on my shelf somewhere. So last year around November, I think, or maybe it was October, I read the second Doom book because a year before that, I read the first Doom book. So this is kind of a tradition I'm doing. There are four of these in the series. Yeah, I'm showing off my nails. Yeah, I went and got acrylics done again because I keep biting my nails. I just can't not do it. And so every like few months, I'm like, well, time to get acrylics again so I don't bite my nails. And I bite these too. Anyway, another book that I'm reading this month that I have not read yet is The Village at Noon, which is, I believe this is a Russian book that's been like translated, and it's another Angry Robot book, and I have this on NetGalley, and this sounds like super super cool, so I'm really interested in this. I think it's about a village where people can't, if they leave they forget. I don't know, I can't remember. It just sounded cool. I'm going to be reviewing Trust, which is a historical fiction about the stock market and about a husband and wife. And what's really interesting, I didn't realize this going into it, because again, I have listened to this because I read it from a readathon. I listened to it on Audible. Is that it's like 3 different stories in one, telling the same story, but from a different kind of, not perspective, but a different way of telling the story. And you're not sure which is real and which isn't. And it's very beautifully written. It's really, really interesting, and I really liked it. So I'm definitely going to be reviewing that one. For the Interstellar Book Club, we're going to be reviewing an Octavia Butler book, and I cannot remember which one, so I will obviously put it up here. So I'm definitely going to... So there's my other kind of classic sci-fi to replace Doom. And I'm not going to be doing a review of this one. I can't even tell you what it's called, but one of my favorite publishers, whom you probably know, I'm reviewing 2 of their books this month, has asked me to read and provide a blurb for a book coming out next year. I am so excited. That is like the coolest thing in my life. Like, that is like so cool to me because I love reading books. I love reviewing books, and it's almost like a vindication of like my weird hobby. Yeah. So again, not the biggest book reading month, but I have some really fun news for December coming up. I might talk about it before my TBR video. I don't know. So that'll be like that'll be fun. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. And I hope you had a happy Halloween, and thanks.